Hello YouTube, today we're doing a review of Dead Rising 2 for the Xbox 360. It is the sequel to, of course, Dead Rising 1, also 360, came out in 2006, developed by Capcom and produced by Kenji Inafune. But this one, Dead Rising 2, was developed by Blue Castle Games, which is a Canadian developer, which Capcom recently bought and made into Capcom Vancouver. So, let's get into the review. Story. It is a sequel only like in concept to Dead Rising 1. None of the characters carry over, even though Frank and Isabella, which are key characters in the original, are mentioned. This is the sequel directly to the paid prequel Dead Rising K0, which was released on the Xbox Live Arcade exclusively a couple weeks ago for only $5. That was definitely worth playing, and I recommend you play it before you even start playing Dead Rising 2. Okay, the story of K0 was Chuck and Katie Green had just escaped from the Las Vegas outbreak and had arrived in the small town of Still Creek. Katie was bitten by her mother, who was also infected. Chuck had to kill her, unfortunately. But now Katie relies solely on this drug called Zombrex, which prevents you from becoming a zombie for 12 hours in K0 and 24 hours in Dead Rising 2. Fast forward to 3 years to Fortune City, and Chuck and Katie are still on the lookout for money to pay for Zombrex. Chuck is in Fortune City to appear on the reality TV show Terror is Reality, which uses zombies as fodder for entertainment and humiliation, really. So Chuck recently wins the latest episode and has enough money to pay for Katie's next dose, but really it's only going to last a day, so he'll have to come up with more money in the coming hours, really. When Chuck goes to pick up Katie from the security room in the arena, he goes into an elevator, which promptly crashes, leaving him unconscious. And when he comes to, he finds that zombies have escaped from their Terror is Reality cages and infected all of Fortune City. People are blaming Chuck because there's a video of him in his Terror is Reality outfit, which is like yellow, placing a bomb on a cage that opens, or that contains all the zombies. So another main story plot point is Chuck trying to clear his name in time for when the military comes in 3 days to rescue the remaining survivors that are still in Fortune City. Chuck and Katie find a emergency shelter that has been built in Fortune City in case of a zombie outbreak, and meet up with Sullivan, who is a member of the security force who is prepared to deal with the zombie outbreak, and he tells them that it is standard procedure that the military will come in 3 days to rescue anyone who's still alive in the shelter. Unfortunately, Chuck doesn't have any Zombrex for Katie, so he has to venture forth out into the city in order to get Katie her drugs. So that's the reason why you're out there in the first place, to get Zombrex and to clear Chuck's name before the military arrives and he is arrested. So, like Dead Rising 1, you have 72 hours before the game ends. But you can spend those 72 hours doing whatever you want. If you want to ignore helping Chuck, you don't have to do that. You don't have to get Zombrex for Katie. You don't have to kill a single zombie if you don't want to. You don't have to save a single survivor. But everything that you do accomplish gives you prestige points, or PP, which will help you level up. And when you level up, you move faster, can carry more items, your attacks do more damage, and various things like that. Another thing that carried over from the original Dead Rising is its survivors. People who are stranded out in the mall or the casinos or the strip, don't have anywhere to go, or usually holed up in a store or something like that. You can choose to save them, and sometimes they have prerequisites before they'll even go with you. Like sometimes you have to give them a drink or some food, or sometimes they're injured and you have to carry them. But overall, they survive a lot better than the original Dead Rising survivors. As if you run into a group of zombies, in the original they would just get eaten alive. They would stand there, get beaten, get grabbed and mauled, really. In Dead Rising 2, they can hold their own. They can push zombies out of the way. You can give them weapons. They're pretty durable, and they respond to your orders, which they're not really orders. You can just tell them to follow you, or you can give them a place to go. So they are much improved from the original, way better. Totally possible. Alright, along with the survivors, there are other humans in the Fortune City. They're called psychopaths. They are boss characters that you will have to fight. Sometimes you want to fight them, or sometimes you just randomly walk into the zone that they are currently causing terror. They are pretty tough and a little unfair if you're a lower level. So I definitely recommend playing to a certain point and then restarting, which you can carry over all your money and your character levels right back to the beginning. So it'll be a lot easier if you do that. I didn't, but you know, some people said that they've had difficulty. So I definitely recommend that. Alright guys, this is the main menu for Dead Rising 2, and here I'm going to display the amount of time it takes just to get into the game. So we're going to press start. Okay, picking your hard drive. In every other game I've played, you click it, it automatically goes right to, right back to the menu. Just press A here. It's just going to sit here. I don't know what it does. It takes forever. And we wait. Play in the waiting game. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't understand what it's doing. It doesn't do this with any other game. Oh, look, there it goes. Now it needs to load. Okay, so here we got our start game. You can play the game co-op. Terror's Reality, which is the multiplayer component. So, alright, let's jump into the single player. Okay, we'll load up my new game I made. There won't be any spoilers here, so, alright, press an A. And it takes forever to load again. Ugh. More loading. So much loading. Alright, here we go. And finally, after all that, the game finally allows us to play.